This is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks, where we review movies. Love them or hate them, someone's got to do it. So enjoy the show. Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm April.
And this is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks.
And anything else that gets in the mix.
So, April.
Yes?
It is near Christmas time.
It is right around the corner.
And I couldn't think of any better movie than Ever After for Christmas.
Oh,
I don't know if it's you, but for me, I think of Christmas. I think of Drew
Ever
Barrymore, right? I think it's a good Christmas movie.
just to get you in the mood.
So April, I have a feeling. Tell me if I'm wrong, but is there somebody else with us?
I believe so.
Is there somebody with us?
Yes. Hi.
Hi, Ashlee. So
I'm just sitting here like, oh, it's me.
Who knew? So this is Ashlee from turgidtomespodcast.
Hello.
Do you want to
Yes.
tell the listeners what your podcast is about?
Sure. So basically, it's a romance book club, and every other Wednesday, I air an episode of a guest and I covering a different book, and every month it's a different theme. Sarah and I actually have an episode.
Yes.
What book did y'all
That's right.
do?
It's going to be coming out at the end of the month.
Yes. Very exciting. That's why we're doing Ever After, to get ourselves ready for the holiday season.
Yes.
Yeah. What was the book that we did for the listeners?
It was Cinderella is Dead by, oh no, I'm going to mess this up probably. I think it's Kaylin Bayron.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We read it. It was I had so much fun talking movies talking about the book with you. I mean, we did talk about movies, but I had a lot of fun on that podcast. I wish April was there. She could have brought some of her pizzazz, but alas, she was not there.
I could always use some more pizzazz.
I mean, if you want to talk about theories and just, maybe that's what the book was about. Maybe it's not. April is the person to talk to. That's her thing. So you wanted to do this movie.
Yes.
Yeah. So is it your favorite Cinderella movie, or is it just the one you thought of?
So when we did our episode, it was retellings was the theme.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Cinderella is Dead is another Cinderella retelling, and I thought it would be cool if we watched a retelling as well. But I mean, Drew Barrymore is the queen, so
Yes.
yes, it's probably one of my favorite of all the Cinderella movies I've seen.
Yeah, it's a really good one. It's very different than all the others.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to give the audience a recap, like a quick synopsis of the movie?
Oh God.
I put you on the spot. I'm so sorry.
So basically, it starts off the huge. Cinderella's dad dies. Evil stepmother and sister show up, and she becomes their servant, and they're awful. But in this version, she actually meets the prince outside, like in the. I think it's on their land.
Yeah.
So she actually meets him before the ball and all that, and they get to know each other. She throws apples at him for stealing a horse. And then she ends up meeting him again. I think she's faking being a courtier?
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. So of course, awful stepmother sold one of the servants, Maurice. So she goes to get him back. And she's pretending to be not a servant. And she meets him again, and he gets the hard eyes. And she flees, of course, because she's like, oh, shit. He's not supposed to know who I am. So, of course, they run into each other again. And it's hilarious. They fall in love. Evil step family tries to ruin it. They don't. They live happily ever after.
Yay.
End of movie.
Yes.
I love it. So normally April and I watch movies together, and then immediately following we go and we record it. But this time we were separated.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so we watched it separately. So did you like look into anything extra? Any knowledge that you've attained without me?
Not really.
No? I figured you would have like looked up everything and like known a whole bunch of stuff.
I watched this movie while I was making cards. While I was making one card. I fell into the YouTube rabbit hole of making greeting cards. And of course, I made my first card.
Now, I want to say that prior to this week, she got into junk journals, and that's what she was going to go down a rabbit hole.
I did start a junk journal as well. So I have a planner, I have a junk journal, and now I'm making greeting cards for Christmas.
What's a junk journal? I've never heard of that. What is that?
Oh my gosh.
It sounds exciting.
Basically, it's a blank journal, and you stick a bunch of stickers in it and stamps, and you like just it's organized chaos that just looks so nice. Some people put in real pictures, and it's just a collage basically of just different stuff. And it is like, first of all, it was pretty easy to get into that because I already have a bunch of stickers and paper from my journaling, even though I still went out and bought a few things more.
So
yeah.
I do crafts. I am a very crafty person. I have lots of different crafts that I'm juggling at all times. And I have been a scrapbooker. I do a lot of scrapbooking. I haven't done it in a few years, but I do still have all my scrapbooking stuff. And for the life of me, the junk journal just seems like the dumbest thing in the world. And I don't know why I don't like it. Like, she's so excited about it. And like everybody in the aisle was talking about it. They were all buying stuff for junk journals.
Oh yeah, I dragged her with me.
And I was just like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I've watched people do it. I'll sit there and I watch them. And I'm like, okay, at least with scrapbooking, I feel like it serves a purpose. You've been to this place. You're decorating your page because of that place. It's a theme, and you're putting your photos that you took or souvenirs that you took at this place. That makes sense to me. But doing a junk journal is just a hodgepodge of like random stuff, envelopes that you don't put anything in, like weird pockets for no reason. I don't get it.
I don't see myself getting into the pocket part of it.
Yeah.
For me, it's going to be more of, these are stickers I'm not going to use in my planner, so I'm going to use it in this junk journal.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of stickers that I'm just they're not me, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Well, and like I'll watch people do this beautiful page, and then they'll take wax and they'll like wax right over everything that they just put in. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't see myself getting into the wax seals either. But I say this now.
Yeah.
You know, who knows what will happen.
I mean,
It's early.
Do some YouTubing. I'm sure it's fun. I don't get it because it doesn't serve a purpose to me. Like, at least if it was like part junk journal, part journaling or scrapbooking, like maybe that might make sense, but it's just like a hodgepodge for no reason.
It depends on the person. Like, there are some people who basically decorate a nice border and then they write in the middle and stuff. Like, I'm really into quotes, and I see myself decorating my quotes.
Okay.
So, but it's
Oh,
still,
that'll be nice.
yeah. Like I have a whole little journal just full of quotes that I love.
Oh.
So I may be transferring that into my junk journal.
Okay.
Ooh.
But, it's still early to tell. Who knows where it'll go?
How about you, Ashlee? Are you a crafter?
I am, but so basically I'll like start something and then it's hard and I overestimate my artistic abilities and then I'm like, oh no, I'm in too deep. And then I begrudgingly finish it and put it up somewhere.
See, at least you finish it. I have a terrible habit of I'm like, oh my God, I've seen 1,000 videos on this subject. I'm now going to go buy all this stuff. I'll buy all this stuff and then I'll be like, okay, now I'm done.
Yeah.
And
I refurbish furniture.
Ooh, I've seen those videos too.
How many times have you bought something, April, to redo?
Once. And I have not gotten
Once?
You know how far I've gotten with that project? I took it out of the car.
Okay. You say once, but I do believe you bought some shelves.
Okay, that was a repurpose. So like 3 or 4 Christmases ago at this point, we went to IKEA and I bought 2 shelves, right? One shelf, I was going to paint it like really cool, right? But I did this in winter. It was like December. And I decided I'm not going to paint it. I'm going to spray paint it. So I was going to have the inside be white and the outside be black. So I I did not put it together. No, I spray painted it, right? So I used gift wrapping because I live in an apartment. So what I did is I put down gift wrapping paper because I wasn't going to buy more paper, right? And I laid it down on the cement, like breezeway, and I spray painted one side. Then I went inside and I waited for like 2-3 hours. And then I went back out and I touched it and it was okay. So then I pulled it up and I turned it around and I spray painted the other side, went inside, and I think I left it out there overnight. And then I come back outside and that's when I realized it was never really dry. And then because it was winter, it just never really dried. So when I tried to take it off of the paper, like the paper ripped. It came with it. No. And so, yeah, I mean, I could fix it because I could always like repaint it, but I never put the second shelf together. It's still in a box.
Yeah, the main problem is that stuff is laminate and you were never going to be able to just spray paint it and that's it.
Really? I thought that one was wood.
No, it's laminate.
No.
Have you tried the little sanding sheet?
Yeah, you'd have to sand it first.
I don't care that much. It's IKEA shelves.
You would have been better off just putting contact paper, honestly.
It's whatever. I don't care. It's full of books. You can't even see it. You can't see that the inside is white and the outside is, well, you can see the black part, but you can't tell that it's two-tone. So, like, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. So, this movie, let's see here. My notes went away.
Ever after.
So, my sister, we're sitting here, and she was like, oh, this is kind of like Titanic. And I was like, what? And then as we were watching, I was like, oh, you know what? It is kind of similar to Titanic. Like the very beginning part, I don't remember what exact moment, but it was very similar. And I was like, oh, she is right. Yeah, it's kind of Titanic-y.
Yeah, it's like the older lady with the Hope Diamond, but this time it's the older lady with the glass slippers.
Yes. That's the part. And I was like, oh, yeah, it is kind of like Titanic. Now, I will say, I've seen this movie approximately 2 times.
Okay.
I saw it many moons ago. Mm-hmm. Hated it.
Really?
Yeah, was not a fan. My sister loves this movie. I was never a fan. And I I'd seen it here and there, but I never really like watched it.
Uh-huh.
And then I saw it yesterday.
Okay.
So I will save my review for later. But I was just like, it's just not the same story. It's not the Cinderella
Classic.
I'm used to. So I was just like, what?
It's interesting that you say you've only seen it twice, because when I stopped to think about it, I for sure have seen it at least once other than this time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've seen it again. So yeah.
And that tracks for you.
Well, yeah, I don't rewatch stuff over and over again. So yeah.
Except for movies that you hate, which...
Oh my God. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
What about you, Ashlee? How many times have you seen this?
Same. I think I saw it once a long time ago, which, oh my gosh, I didn't realize it was released in 98. I thought it was released in the early aughts.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, it's a
surprise.
nice movie.
Yeah, so I watched it at least once when it came out,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe caught it another time, and then I watched it again last night.
Yeah,
I wanted it to be fresh.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we watched it Wednesday. So
I watched it today.
hey, look at you.
Yep.
So one of the first things that happens is she's getting dressed up for her dad coming home. And her little friend, he was like, "You look like a girl." She goes, "I am a girl, but today you look like a girl." And I thought that was funny.
So obviously by the time the dad gets home, she's covered in mud.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that just made me really mad.
Why?
Because she knew it was an important day,
Uh-huh.
first impressions. Fine, she can go play with her little friend. But like, why follow him into the mud? You know?
Do you think it would have mattered if she was pristine?
Not for the stepmother,
Yeah.
but she should have just been more conscious. I know she's a child, but she understands like good manners and like what's proper, you know? And she was super excited. So this meant a lot for her
Yeah.
to completely disregard that.
So one big issue I have with this movie, now maybe I just don't understand it because I haven't seen it that many times, but maybe you guys can clarify. So the stepmom, she is a baroness. Shouldn't he be of royal blood in order to marry her?
Yeah, I was really confused because they kept referring to Cinderella as a servant.
Yeah.
But it's like but if you're a baroness and you married her dad, like he might not have been the same rank. He could have been a duke or something, but I figured the same, like he'd have to be something.
Yeah.
So here's what I think. She's obviously a widow with 2 daughters. So once the husband dies, then that's going to pass on to the next living male relative. So she could be a baroness because of her previous marriage. And now she's basically destitute, kind of. So for her, she probably continued using the title baroness just because, you know, it ranks higher than, you know, her new husband's title, which he doesn't have a title. It looks like he's just a gentleman, you know, and that's okay. You can be like, you know, well off and not be nobility.
It just seems weird. But then her mom must be something, right? Like Danielle's mom.
She's a
Contessa.
Yeah, I was very confused, but I definitely get, because when I was watching, I was like, okay, maybe it is. Maybe she downgraded. She just married a commoner. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's very confusing.
Yeah, I was like, I don't understand that. Because, like, okay, a guy can marry down, but usually a woman has to marry up. So it's weird that she would marry down.
Yeah.
Who's to say that the mother, the Contessa, you know, every family is different.
Yeah.
It could always be that she married down and all of this land and property came from her mother, maybe?
Oh, I wasn't talking about Daniela's mom at that point. I was just talking about the Baroness. Like, she doesn't seem like the type that would have married a man who was lower than her stature.
Yeah, but think about it. She's at least in her 30s, 2 kids.
That's true.
And a widow with no money to herself.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
If she wants to marry somebody, she's probably going to have to marry somebody older, uglier, you know? And it seemed like she actually did care for the father, at least enough.
Yeah, it seemed like it.
To be hurt by not having his last words directed at her, you know?
Yeah.
So there was at least some affection there.
And I also feel like she was upset because this is the second husband she's lost.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's kind of what her issue was. Like, oh crap, not again.
Yeah, and that happens so fast.
Ashlee, have you watched Bridgerton?
Yes.
So does she remind you of the mom?
Penelope's mom?
Yes. From Bridgerton, like very similar.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Like, I wonder if someone was like, I wonder who I can model this character after. Let me do Ever After. That'd be
honestly, I think a lot of historical romances in general have that kind of, they have a mom like that somewhere.
Oh, that's true. Good point. You would know better than us.
It's just a good antagonist in the family, hard to get rid of.
Yeah.
You know? So
it's true. Let's see here. So her papa gave Danielle a book, Utopia. Is it a real book? Is that a real thing?
Sounds like it could be.
Our book expert, do you know, is Utopia a real
I'm
book?
sorry. I got distracted. I'm sorry if you can hear it, but I think my upstairs neighbors are making popcorn.
Oh, no,
I love popcorn.
Does it smell good?
I don't smell it. I just hear a bunch of pops and stuff up there.
Do you think that they're eating that and they're going to listen to you talk about this movie? Because that'd be great.
No.
That'd be very meta, right?
So apparently it is a real book.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Huh.
It's written by Thomas More.
Interesting. I love that we have fact checkers. Thank you, fact checkers.
You're welcome.
And then, the prince, he's well read. He has read the book as well.
And he didn't get it.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I was like, he's read her book. Her favorite little book. And the dad brings home the 2 girls, or the mom and the 2 girls. And instantly you can tell that the older girl, Marguerite, is an asshole. And then we have Jacqueline, who is, she's dumb but kind.
Yeah.
And
she just doesn't have the authority or power to change Danielle's circumstance.
Yeah.
But she tries to help her be nice.
Yeah.
I bet if the dad hadn't died, they would have been best friends.
I think so too.
Oh yeah.
She's definitely the better of the people in their family. And the lady who plays her character, I don't know her name off the top of my head, but I know that she's from a lot of movies that I've seen. Always love her. Yeah. I think she's in Sweet Home Alabama, and she's in
we just saw it.
Coyote Ugly.
And in that movie with Justin Long. Remember the historical house?
Is that her?
Yeah, that's her.
Are we sure that's her? Because I think there's 2 girls that look alike.
Oh, I hate that.
I'm not sure. We'll have to have the fact checkers look into that. AKA April. So we have, as soon as the dad's on the horse, I was like, he looks like he's about to have a heart attack. I completely forgot that happened. Obviously, I knew the dad died. Mm-hmm. I didn't remember how he died. And so when he starts to get on the horse and he kind of looked at his hand, I was like, oh, no. And my sister wouldn't
Lady
tell
of the
me
Manor,
anything.
it is her.
Oh, it's her. Okay. I thought it was her, but there's another girl who looks like her. And I kind of get them confused sometimes.
Mary Catherine?
Yeah. So, did anybody cry when the dad died?
No.
No.
April's like, no.
Did not shed a tear.
I was fine.
I did feel bad, though, for Angela Hudson's character, though.
Uh-huh.
At that moment, because it's like, when she's like, don't leave me here. I was like, dude, literally, like, it's not like now, okay? Like, back then, who knows where he picked her up.
Yeah.
Far away from family. Obviously, I feel she married down.
Yeah.
Because that was the best situation for her. Mm-hmm. And now she's stuck here in a foreign place. And yeah, I felt for her. I really did.
You always side with the evil people.
I didn't know she was evil then. Okay. Nobody knew she was evil.
We all know she's evil. She's the stepmom.
But like, you know what I mean? Like,
it humanized her a little bit.
Yeah, it did. I think it's the only moment she was really human.
Yeah. I will give you that one. Mm-hmm. Yes. That is a moment of humanity. Mm-hmm. As one should have when their life just gets blown up in smokes. Mm-hmm. And when she's killed a second husband, you know? I'm just going to blame her.
She didn't kill him.
I feel like she did.
No, take
I
it
was
back.
getting some she poisoned him vibes for a second there.
Right? If anybody was going to poison anybody, it would have been her.
No way.
Yeah. Or the eldest daughter. She's a bitch.
Not as a child.
Yeah. Children can be awful. The bad seed. It's a kid.
Okay.
Or the good son. Macaulay Culkin. He's not the good son.
Or the Omen.
Yeah.
Damien.
Uh-huh. Though Damien is kind of like the boy version of Danielle, and Danielle's not the bad one.
Okay.
Anyways. Why did I put Henry escaped?
Because he got out of his window, like, drop your hair, Tangled. What's her name?
Oh, that's Henry. I was like, who the hell is Henry?
Oh,
The prince. To be fair,
princess though,
Tangled.
I know, but she has a name, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Whatever. Continue.
No, that's gonna bother me. Goldie. No, not Goldilocks. Rapunzel.
There you go, Rapunzel.
Got it. We're good. My brain's happy now. To be fair, we went from them being kids to Henry being an adult escaping. So I was like, who the hell is Henry? So the prince steals Daniella's horse.
Her father's
horse. And she is pissed. And throws potatoes at him.
I mean, horse thievery is a serious crime. It is.
It's basically stealing someone's car.
Yeah, their livelihood.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I wish punishment for stealing cars nowadays was severe.
Right?
Yeah. Or the Cadillac converter thingies.
Yes, that's a real problem. Is that a problem where you're from?
Yes. And I have a newer Kia. So I'm kind of like, oh no.
Yeah, they're like the Kia and the Hyundai.
Dude, just the other day, I heard this thing that said Kia was one of the top rated cars and they haven't had any issues. And I was like, Kia, have you read yourself in the news lately?
Well, that rank comes from last year's month's data and stuff, you know?
Like, Kia, no.
I mean, in Kia's defense, it's not the engine that's having the issues. It's the thievery.
Well,
that's true.
I thought they were having two problems. They were having that problem. They were also having one where it was just exploding.
Oh, I didn't hear about the exploding.
Yeah. Yeah. There was something with like the engine or something was exploding.
No, I just heard it's easy to steal.
That too.
Love that for me.
To be fair, I think it was the older models, like before now, but like after 2013, like somewhere in that neighborhood. So
yeah, I should be good. I think fine.
Yeah.
I think it's a
You're fine.
2021, maybe.
just don't put it in a garage, just in case it
No.
explode. Or if you leave it outside, someone can steal the catalytic converter or the whole car itself. So, really, you're just kind of screwed.
It's really funny because my boyfriend has the gray, I think it's Honda Accord, which is like the most stolen car because it's like one of the most common and they're everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe they'll go for his instead.
It's
In
so
car shopping, we just need to see what's popular and being stolen
Right.
and go the opposite.
do the opposite. Yes.
I never thought I would have to look at car theft models.
I deal with that. I don't know if you've listened to a ton of our podcasts, but I deal with that every single day. I'm the one that deals with the theft vehicles. And I don't know if I've seen a ton of Honda Accords, but I do know a lot of Honda Accords, Toyota Camrys, Toyota Corollas are in a shit ton of accidents.
That's because they're the most popular.
Yeah. I choose to believe that they're just terrible drivers. That's what I've decided.
Yeah.
I mean, because
it's a little wild down here in Florida. So.
oh, good God, yes.
Oh my gosh. Isn't there like a hurricane on your path right now?
I think it came through. Oh, geez. Was it? It's Friday. I think it came through the wee hours of Thursday,
Oh, wow.
and I worked. So.
Oh, so you're okay then?
Yeah. In the part of Florida I'm in, it's not that bad. I used to live in South Florida, but I think it was only a Cat 1.
So as someone who lives in Florida, tell me, why do people continue to live there when there's a gazillion hurricanes that just like, okay, I understand where you live
there, but like
is
move
fine.
there.
Yeah. Like, why do people continue to live on the beach? It makes no sense to me.
I don't know. But the only thing I could think of is they don't like snow. They don't like the cold. Because it's never cold here.
Because that's kind of how I feel about Houston and like people that live like on the, Gulf here in Texas. I'm like, why do you continue to rebuild your house on toothpicks? It makes no sense to me. I would move somewhere else where I don't lose my house every 4 to 5 years.
That's actually, hurricanes are the reason I moved up out of South Florida.
Okay.
It destroyed our rental home.
Oh, no.
So, it was back when I was like 16. It was just like, well, all right, we've had enough of that. My mom went through Andrew and she was just like, I'm done. And then we moved north. And it's not that bad up here.
Well, that's good.
I'm glad.
I don't, it's Florida. It's just, Florida things, Florida man, but people keep moving down here and we're all the like born and raised Floridians were like, we're full. Please stop.
Right?
Please stop coming.
Yeah. California is doing a mad exodus to Texas and, it's getting a little California up in here.
We were
Really?
already changing for years now, though.
Oh, I'm not saying political wise and any of that. Where I work, our main company is in California, and a lot of them moved here when they opened the Texas office, and people keep moving from California to our Texas office. I work on a team of 6 people, and me and one other person are the only ones that are not from California.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So, fun fact. I went to California for the first time ever, like a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
And I thought the Valley Girl accent was exaggerated and a joke. And I had a layover there for like a day.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting in some brunch spot, just eating whatever. And my boyfriend and I are sitting there. And then these girls show up and they just started talking. And we immediately I made eye contact with my boyfriend. Our eyes were huge. And we're just like, oh my God, they really do talk like that. Oh my God.
So what you're saying is that if we go to California and we want to blend in with the locals, just talk in a Valley Girl accent.
It was wild. It literally sounded, I thought they were joking even at first, but as the longer we sat there, they just continued. It was basically, oh my God, I love brunch. And it was.
So was it kind of like
it was wild.
the Kardashian kind, or like the, oh my God, like that's so crazy.
Yeah, that one.
That one. I would have thought it would have been more like, oh my God, like, did you see that?
They
water?
were very pepped up.
Okay.
Well, they just had brunch.
Yeah, that's true. They're on Mimosa High. They're excited.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they were saying they love mimosas too.
Of course.
Which, I mean, who doesn't?
Who loves a good mimosa?
Not to make fun, you know, I'm from Florida, so yeah. I'm the butt of like every joke, you know, not to make fun of it or anything. It was just so shocking to me because I always thought it was like a joke.
Don't worry, if they're not joking about you, they're joking about Texas.
That's true.
Yeah.
So we're right there with you.
Yeah. Every time something pops up in the news, I'm like, please don't say Florida, please.
I know, right? Ugh. You're just like, stay out of the news, damn it. Yeah, like when they would have all those TikToks about like Florida, Texas, you know, the South, anywhere, when they're like, these people aren't wearing masks anymore or whatever it might be. It was always Texas and Florida. When they're like, oh, these people are out and about now. Texas, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing with that, which kind of sucked, was that it was a lot of people coming to visit Florida. So they weren't like living here. They were just like vacationing and stuff and like, you know, spreading the germs.
Yeah, because that's
and all the Floridians are like, can you not?
Yeah, they had to go to Disney. Like, it was cheaper, right? Because no one was there.
I just remember them showing like crowded beaches on the news, no one wearing masks, and they're like, haha, Florida's so stupid. And it's like, you realize those aren't people from Florida, right?
Right. Ugh. Goodness. So back to the movie.
Oh yeah.
So did anybody else know that it was going to be Leonardo da Vinci?
Yes, I remember that.
I didn't. I thought that was so great. I loved it.
So when I saw him, I was like, he looks like an artist. I couldn't like pinpoint which one it was in my head. But when I saw him and then he was like, my paintings, I was like, oh, that's so funny. And then, you know, when he says his name later, I was like, damn it, he does look like Leonardo da Vinci. I was like, Sarah, you suck. You went to art school. You should have known that. I mean, I did.
Well, then, you know, he busts out the Mona Lisa.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, aha. Oh my gosh, did you guys know there's more than one version?
Of what?
Of the Mona Lisa?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I think there's one in England somewhere.
Yeah, my friend John just went to Spain and he came back. He went to one of the museums and he told me about it. Like, really?
There's one sitting on the desk in front of me at work. There's a lady on Halloween. She was going to go as Monet Lisa because her name is Monet. And so she bought this inflatable Mona Lisa costume and it has a cutout where your head goes.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. And she couldn't wear it. And so
why? Because it was too big?
No, she was too
chesty,
yeah. And so she was talking to my friend and Sarah was like, "Oh, you should have it." And I was like, "Sure, I'll take it." And then I was like, "Well, if she's too busty for it, I'm going to be just too busty for it as well." But I took it.
Just not inflated all the way,
right? Well, I took it, and then it smelled. It smelled. It like has plastic? A very strong odor. No, it smelled like food. Like maybe she had cooked something
in the room or something.
Yeah, and it like had that smell in it. But it smelled like a lot of different kind of food. It was too much and I couldn't take it. So it's been sitting at the desk in front of me. But it looks like Monet. Or Mona Lisa. It's pretty funny. When I saw her friend later on and he was dressed up, I was like, is he an artist too? Because I feel like I've seen, when he's in that like green outfit with the little hat. I was like, I've seen that painting before of an artist that looks like that. But his name wasn't like Rembrandt or anything. So that would be interesting to know. Yeah.
I didn't either.
Yeah, my sister was like, no, his name is something else.
Oh, it was Gustav, right?
Yeah, Gustav. Is he an artist? Because that would be interesting.
I don't know.
Well, we'll let our fact checker fill that out or figure that out. But the prince reluctantly goes and gets the artwork for him. And he was not happy about it. But he did it. Mm-hmm. So that was nice. Mm-hmm. He's a nice guy.
Yeah. They're besties.
They do kind of hang out the rest of the movie together.
Yep.
They do.
So when we meet the girls again, they're older, and she has that brooch on her, and when the guard laughs, I turn to my sister and I go, "Oh, are they gonna date the Jacqueline and the guard?" And she just like smiled, and I was like, they're gonna date. I just had that feeling. I must have remembered from when I saw it the first time, but I was like, their energy is very similar, and I dug that. And then I like that she stuck the feather in her corset.
That was so funny.
Yeah, I was like, that makes sense. She's like, oh, look at all the attention she's getting. Let me do the same with this feather.
Let me bring attention to my cleavage.
Duh. Is that not how you do it? When I go out to the bars, I'm like, let me put this feather just right here.
Yeah, I would have to then like yank my t-shirt down. Like, this doesn't really go down that much.
That's why I got to wear the V-neck.
Oh, the V-neck. I didn't get that memo.
Yeah, come on, April. Jeez.
Sorry.
Can't go out to the bar wearing collared neck shirts.
Turtleneck.
Yeah. With your sweater vest on top of it. Come on, what are you thinking? So is there any like fun parts that stick out to you guys? Like, what's your favorite part?
I really love the part like towards the beginning when she's throwing apples at him and she's like, "Oh, Your Majesty, I'm sorry, I didn't see you." And then he's like, "I beg to differ."
Yes.
I love that part. And when Leonardo da Vinci like opened the door, he's like, "Yes, I'm going to go down in history as a man who opened doors."
Yes. I thought that was funny. I didn't put two and two together. Like I heard him say that, but I didn't think about That's not what you're going to,
Like, I feel that now, whenever somebody mentions Leonardo da Vinci, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, the guy that opens doors.
right? Or the guy who walks on water on his weird boat shoes.
That wouldn't really work.
Yeah. I was like,
I was very confused.
I was like,
wait,
is he
what?
walking on water?
Yeah, his weight just wasn't displaced enough for that.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Like, I feel for that to work, you would have to have one of those like balance bars when people walk on the wire.
Yeah.
Because you need something to like displace the weight.
Well, he's an artist, April, not a scientist.
He is a scientist. I guess that's why we only know him from breaking down doors.
Yeah. Sheesh.
What about you, Ashlee? What was one of your favorite parts?
So this one wasn't intentional, but it made me laugh. They couldn't have the dad. They couldn't have gotten him a better wig. Oh, it was awful.
I didn't even notice.
I didn't either.
It was so bad.
Oh, I guess if we're talking about things that we notice, when they're playing like tennis or racquetball or whatever, and I didn't notice it until, like he threw the ball and it went into the audience, and then they show who he's playing against. Did you guys look at like the cock piece that guy was wearing?
Yes.
It was all triangle-y. And I'm just like, what? And then after that, I couldn't help but look at like the crotch area.
Yeah. I was like, wow, someone's packing.
But it was like,
I missed it.
Go back and watch it. It's so triangle-y. And I'm like, why?
Yeah. Because it was way more noticeable than anybody else's.
Yeah.
I think
that's hilarious.
I think like probably my favorite part was when Danielle decked Marguerite.
Yes.
Oh, that was nice.
She
that
had
was the
that
best.
coming.
Yes.
She really did.
Her dress was beautiful. So I don't understand. Was that her mother's dress?
Yes.
And it was part
Yes.
of her supposed dowry.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it took so long for them to even want to wear it. Were there no other events that would, like, you want to wear that dress for until this moment?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised that wasn't the first thing she tried to sell.
Maybe
Oh,
she
yeah.
was saving it for a special occasion for her
Maybe.
daughters.
Some scruples, I guess. I don't know.
Ooh, and another part, when he's about to marry the Spanish princess, and then
Yes.
she runs up and starts kissing that courtier. Like, what is up with that? Because obviously, like, he's low rank as well. So even though you didn't marry this prince, that doesn't mean your parents aren't going to marry you to some other prince or duke or somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the dramatic sobbing for me.
Oh, I
Yeah,
loved it. I loved
Jesus.
it.
She was crying. I was like, he's not that bad.
But the thing is that she was already in love,
Yeah.
you know?
She,
Because she wasn't ugly.
No.
The fact that she was crying means she was probably sweet,
Yeah.
you know, and timid and shy. I think they could have had a really nice go at it, you know?
one of my favorite parts was when Danielle was playing with the kite.
Oh,
And then she tried to hide. And the
Yeah.
kite's like hovering above her. I thought that was really funny.
and then she lets go of it. Oh, another part I love is when they're at the market and Marguerite's like, oh, and these are our servants. And then she jumps up and there's a chicken. And then he's like, wait, was there somebody else? And the old lady's like, there was a chicken, sire. That scene was so awesome.
Also, one of my favorite quotes was, you have found my weaknesses, but I have yet to find yours. And he goes, I think it's obvious. And I was like, oh, dang. Okay. Look at you spouting love lines. I don't know.
Another part I love was the part where the gypsy's like, yes, you could have anything you can carry. And then she carries him, but she didn't grab her dress. I feel like that was missing. She should have grabbed her dress first and then picked him up.
Or have him hold it.
Yeah.
Hold the dress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any parts that you guys hated?
So the stuff that kept going missing, someone was stealing their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then the creepy Pepe, I call him Pepe Le Pew.
Oh.
There was like this creepy guy that was super into Danielle and he was gross. And evil stepmom ends up selling Danielle to this guy towards the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But he shows up during his purchase, I guess, and he has all the stuff. Like they found all the stuff that went missing.
Yeah.
But I don't think they ever said who took it all.
The mother sold it.
Yeah.
But not like, she kept saying she was going to garnish the wages of this servant because a painting went missing, a tapestry went missing. It was from the beginning. It was happening.
Yeah.
And every once in a while they'd mention it, but then, so she was just selling it the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aha. Okay.
And then she was pretending that it was being stolen. And so she would use the excuse to not pay them because they were thieves, but it was really her selling it.
Yeah.
That tracks.
She's an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because then he shows up with all this stuff. I'm like, wait, what is going on?
Yep.
One part that I didn't like is when they made Danielle choose between her mother's shoes and her book. And then that bitch Marguerite threw her book in the fire anyways. And I was like, you asshole.
Yeah.
I would have thrown her in the fire.
Right? She deserved to get punched.
Yep.
And I love that Jacqueline was like, she went over. She's like, did you see her feet go over her head? That was funny.
I guess the only part I didn't like is the fact that the Spanish king and queen were there for the wedding. That would never happen.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Really?
Yeah, no. The other monarchs wouldn't visit other kingdoms. Very seldomly, especially not for the wedding of a daughter. Like, no. But I can see, like, obviously, this is Cinderella. It's all made up, you know, but just that little one. The one that really annoyed me.
It bothered me that she lost her shoe. Now I know it's not important in this movie that she lost her shoe.
Mm-hmm.
It brings nothing to the to the plot.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for it. So you're just gonna run on gravel with one shoe?
Oof.
Like, okay, leave both shoes. Take both shoes, but don't have one shoe on and one shoe off. Have you ever tried to walk around with one shoe on, one shoe off? You notice, and you would go back to get the other shoe because you'd be like, this ground hurts my feet.
You know,
or you would just take the other one off and leave both of them.
You know what else I would have liked? I would have liked to have seen a few mice. They didn't have to talk or do anything, but just show them in the corner eating some cheese or something, or scurry about.
Gus.
Yeah, Gus.
We know I love Gus.
Yeah, but that would have been nice to just, maybe she was picking up, tomatoes or something next to like a pumpkin patch. You know, just like it didn't have to be part of the story, just scenery.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I would have loved that.
Yes.
I noticed in one part they did try to bring in the Cinderella name. They called her
Sins and Ashes or something.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I see what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with it, but I see it. I love that Leonardo da Vinci is her fairy godmother.
Yeah.
Because he figures out how to open the door.
And gives her wings.
So she can fly.
Yes. It reminded me a lot of Romeo and Juliet.
Right?
Yeah, the dress and that was so nice.
Yeah. One thing I noticed is that Drew Barrymore is always getting dumped at balls for lying.
Aww.
She needs to stop lying when she's going to formal events. That's all I'm saying. Never Been Kissed is one of my favorite movies. We haven't done it yet. I'm savoring that one because we've pretty much done a lot of my other favorites. So that one I'm waiting for, but we're coming for you, Drew. Speaking of her, I hate her accent. It's not good.
What?
Ooh.
It's not good.
I don't think I paid attention.
I didn't. It wasn't anything noticeable.
Maybe it's because I know she doesn't have an accent that it was bothering me because she still has her lisp with her British accent. And it was just, I was like, stop it.
I was fine with it.
I guess it's just me then.
Yes.
So any other parts you guys really liked or hated or any other noteworthy stuff?
I really like that she ended up saving herself.
Oh,
Pepe Le Pew.
He's like,
it.
I've come to rescue
she's walking out. Yeah, she's walking out and the prince is like, and she's like, oh, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I kind of feel like,
girl power.
yeah, most of the Cinderellas that I've seen all are kind of like that.
Good for them.
Where they can kind of take on their own. They don't... trying to think about the Camila Cabello one, but I know the one with Lizzie McGuire and the one with... or I said Lizzie McGuire. Hilary Duff and the one with Selena Gomez. They would punch somebody to get away.
Yeah.
Of those, which one is your favorite, Ashlee?
A Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff.
I do love that one.
But I love Hilary Duff. Like anything Hilary Duff is in is gold.
Have you seen How I Met Your Father?
I watched, I think, like 4.5 episodes, and then I forgot about it. But I'm going to get back on it.
Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of them. Yeah, I was probably about 4 or 5 episodes in, and then I keep forgetting to go on Hulu. It was on Netflix. I probably would have finished it.
Oh, that's true. I never watched How I Met Your Father. And then I found out, about the ending, and I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not going to watch it now. That's irritating.
I loved How I Met Your Mother. It was so good. It's one of my favorite shows. If you liked Friends, you would like How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely gives off Friends vibes.
Like, I love bits. I love when movies or shows have a reoccurring bit, and they have that in that show, and I love it. So like
Slap Christmas.
Yeah. Or they'll have a running gag of some sort. Anytime they talk about sandwiches, it means they were getting high. Like, I just love that kind of stuff, and they have that in there in spades. It's so good.
Yeah, it's really cute. I liked it.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of that show. All right. So is there anything else we have to say about this movie? Nope. I can tell we all really enjoyed it.
At the end, when Danielle gets to decide the punishment for the evil stepsister and mom. Jacqueline's off. She's off with the palace guard or whatever. Yeah. And she basically is like, well, I won't, you're going to get treated just how you treated me. No better, no worse. And I was like, yes, stay petty.
Yes. I love petty.
I'm upper management.
All right. So we always rate our movies. It's 1 out of 10. And we always do it like 1 out of 10 slippers or 1 out of 10 apple throwing. Whatever you want to say, something about the movie. What would you rate this movie?
Ooh, I would rate it 7 out of 10 Mona Lisas.
Ooh, good one. April, what about you?
I will also rate this a 7 out of 10 Angela Hudson headpieces. I would wear any dress outfit that she wore in this movie because she looked great in all of it, especially the headpieces.
You know it's Angelica Houston, right?
Oh. I've been saying Hudson?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
The first time you said it, I was like, who's she talking about?
It spelled Hudson. It looks like it would be said Hudson, but I think it's Houston. Or maybe other people are mispronouncing it.
Like Sarah.
You know, I mispronounce stuff all the time.
I'm from Houston. I would know how Houston is spelled, except in New York, which is Houston.
But I'm pretty sure it's Angelica Houston.
Oh. I have never heard her name said. I've only ever read it.
That's okay. I was just like, who is she talking about? And then it clicked. And then I was like, that's not her name. Well, anyways, I'm going to give it. So when I saw it the first time, I hated it. I watched it again on Wednesday and I was laughing. So I don't know if maybe just when I saw it, I was too young to understand it, or I was like, it's not Cinderella. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. I was able to appreciate it more this time. So yeah, I will give it a 7 out of 10. Should have been mice in the movie.
Yes.
Yay!
So that's how I feel. Yeah.
I think this is the first time us and a guest all rated it the same.
Look at us.
Oh my gosh.
We're in sync.
Girl power.
Yay. So you said your episode's coming out on the
30th.
Okay.
Of this month.
And this one will also be out on
So yours will
the
be out on
29th. So this will be out the day before. So after you listen to this episode, dear listeners, go find her podcast and listen to our episode where we talk about a Cinderella book because it was a lot of fun.
It was a fun one. It's a good one.
Yay. Would you say it's your best episode? No, I'm just kidding.
Have you read any other of the Cinderella stories, books?
I probably have in years past, but there are actually a lot of retellings in the romance genre right now. It's going crazy. But I've seen a few that I want to check out. So I'll probably be doing retellings as a theme again fairly soon.
So one thing that we do on our anniversary is that we do Clueless. We did Clueless the first year. The second year we did
one of the Emmas. This year we did another version of Emma because there's so many versions. So then once we finish with all of the anniversary things, we're going to have to move to a new movie. Yeah. So maybe that's something you could consider. It's like anytime you start a new season or end a season, pick something like Cinderella and just keep reviewing different Cinderella books.
Yeah. That's a great idea. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know.
I listen to those episodes, by the way.
Oh. Well, thank you. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah. I listen to you guys quite often.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Well, I'm definitely going to check out the episode that we're doing together. Like for me, I can watch a movie and it can be spoiled. It's not a problem. But for some reason, something about books, I don't want them to be spoiled. Like
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Yeah, like if I know a movie is coming out, but it's a book, I will read the book first and then I'll see the movie.
Same.
But I don't usually do it the other way around. And so like sometimes people will ask if I can go on their podcast and talk about this movie or that movie. I'm like, we haven't talked about it yet. So I don't really want to like talk about everything about it and then go on to your, and then do it on ours and have nothing to say or whatever. So if there's a movie, damn it. I did that on her podcast too. If there's a book that you have reviewed that I have read, I definitely am going to check that out. But I don't want to hear anything.
No, that's totally understandable.
Oh,
but that's, yeah.
I was going to tell you. So I listened to a book the other day. It's called The Silent Woman. Have you heard of it?
Ooh, I haven't. How was it?
It was pretty good. It's by Mika Kent, I think. And this doesn't give anything away. This is what the actual like trailer, I don't know what they call it, a trailer for the book. But basically, it said that this woman, she marries this man who had been married before. His wife had had a terrible accident and she was not able to take care of herself anymore. And so he had to help her. And so she lives in the guest house behind their house.
The wife?
Yeah, his ex-wife.
Oh, the ex-wife.
And so he doesn't want his new wife, to go see her because it can confuse her. And when she gets confused, she gets upset, she gets irate, she starts, freaking out, losing it. And so he only wants him and the nurses to talk to her. Well, one of the nurses runs to the main house while he's out of town, says, "Hey, I have an emergency. Can you watch her until the next nurse comes?" And she's like, "Sure." So she goes. And then when she's hanging out with his ex-wife, she writes a little note that says, "Run." And that's where like
the wife?
Yeah, the ex-wife. And that's where the preview left off. And I was like, what? No.
What's it called?
What happened?
What's it called again?
It's called Silent Woman.
Oh.
By, here, I have it. Hold on.
That does sound interesting.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out.
And I was like, what?
I must know more.
Let's see here. My library. Oh, by Minka Kent. Yeah, The Silent Woman. And it just came out.
See,
sometime this month.
I'm the opposite. I'm all for you spoiling me a book because all I read is fan fiction.
Yeah.
So that, and when it comes to physical books, I generally read like historical and biographies. Yeah. So I don't really read fiction. Like the fiction I have read is just because somebody else just sold me on the story. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to read this for myself. So I could do.
Yeah.
You could spoil any book for me. It'll just make me want to read it myself.
Yeah. One of the best ones was Framed by S.L. McInnes. And I listened to that on Audible and it was really good.
See, I can't do audiobooks.
Framed.
Because if I'm going to listen to you read a book, I might as well just read it myself.
Yeah. Well, because I sit at work and I can listen to stuff, so that's why I do it on Audible.
Oh, yeah, I can't do that.
Because then I get my satisfaction of like hearing the story, but I don't actually have to sit there and read it. I can work while I do it. What were you going to say, Ashley?
I wish I liked audiobooks. I could get so much stuff done.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. Like, it's fine. It's just not for me. There's nothing wrong with them. I'm not one of those snobs that's like, audiobooks aren't real books. I'm not one of those. I don't know what it is. I really don't like it. I guess, I don't know.
See,
I guess I could compare it to if someone were to sing to me, like if someone were to sing directly to me, it would make me really uncomfortable.
See, for me,
so it's like, I guess.
I do voices in my head for every character. So if somebody else is reading it, I can't do the voice. Like, I can't imagine the person's voice.
So when I read the book for your podcast, I started reading the book, but then I had too much left and I didn't have a lot of time. So I downloaded the audiobook, and the voice for the people were way different than the voice I was reading. And I was just like, this doesn't work for me. It was really weird. And then it has the same person doing the voices of all the girls. And you know how many girls are in that book. And so it was
a
like
lot.
really weird. And I was just like, I made a mistake.
I remember one time I did an audiobook. We were supposed to read a book for school. I can't remember if it was the Odyssey or if it was Iliad, but either ways, I ended up downloading like the wrong version. Like, instead of having the Greek names, they had the Roman names.
Oh no.
And so then I listened to this thing like right before I had to do a test. And of course, the test is, like, I don't know, like, I had Roman names. I didn't have the Greek names. So I didn't know, I knew who Venus was, obviously, Aphrodite. But like the other gods, I did not know who they were, except the obvious ones. Like, I know Mars was Aries, but I didn't know, like, the obscure ones. Yeah. So I didn't do so well on that test, other than the obvious answers.
Oh,
I know.
No.
Like, why would you write a book with the Roman name? Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just made me so mad. Like, who does that?
I don't remember why, but somehow I got an Audible credit. And I was like, well, I don't really want to listen to a book. Like, that would be silly. So I decided to listen to an autobiography, which I thought was kind of more like a podcast. So I listened to the Mindy Kaling, one of her books. And then I moved from that, and it had Judy Greer, who I love. She had an autobiography, and it was really good. And so I listened to that one. And then I was like, okay, I could probably listen to an audiobook. So then I did the framed one, and I've done a couple since then. But yeah, I don't do them too often. Just sometimes
you like
I like
thrillers
to
and
shake
mysteries.
For this purpose, yes. When I'm reading actual book for myself, no. It's usually some kind of plus size heroine or just a love story in general.
Have you read Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade?
Yes.
Yeah. Those are pretty good. Have you read actually her third, The Shipwrecked is the third and final one in the series. I think it comes out on the 15th.
Ooh.
That one was really good. I like that one a lot. Honestly, it's funny because we covered Spoiler Alert on the pod, and then I'm on NetGalley, and I happened to see the sequel. All the seals pop up, and I was like, because I was okay. I liked Spoiler Alert. I didn't love it, but then I read the second book, and I loved it.
Okay, actually, you know what? I haven't read it. I do have it on my list of stuff to read, but I didn't read it because I couldn't find it for less than like $16. And I was not going to pay $16 for a book.
Oh my gosh.
Kindle wasn't worth it to me to pay $16.99 to read a book. But maybe if I can find it for cheaper than that, I totally will. You said it's a whole series?
There's 3. The third one comes out the 15th. And I got to read that one off of NetGalley as well. So that was really cool. But yeah, it's a good series. It's fun. It's just funny because the first book, usually it's the opposite. People love the first book and then the sequels are like meh.
Yeah.
But I was like meh about the first one. And then the other 2 are great. I love them.
Yeah. I really, really wanted, I read the preview of this. So that's probably why I was like, yeah, I've read it. No, I didn't. As soon as I saw the cover, I was like, nope, that's on my list. I have a whole Amazon shopping list of books to read. And that is on my list. And I haven't read it yet. That and the one with the two guys. I'm trying to think of what it's called. Let's talk books. It's our podcast. We can do whatever the hell we want. View list. Books. I know it. It's going to jump at me when I see it. Spoiler up there. Spoiler alert.
Oh, April.
Yes.
Oh, I had a thought and I lost it. Oh my gosh. It was something you said. Oh, you said you read historicals and biographies.
Yes.
What's a good one you've read lately?
None. Honestly, I've just been reading fan fictions for a while. So.
Ooh, fan fiction for what?
Primarily Harry Potter. Okay, so.
Tons of people do that. I know several people that do that. Yeah.
Sarah and I had never watched Harry Potter before. Okay. And so for the 20th anniversary last year, we spent all summer watching Harry Potter. And like, honestly, I didn't get it. I really did not get it, you know? And then it got to the end and it was like, I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And yeah. So I'm just exploring this whole new world. Like there's 20 years worth of fan fiction for me to get through. So
oh my God.
I have a lot to catch up on. So I'm going to be doing this for a few years.
I found it. Okay. Red, white, and royal blue. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I love that one.
I've been wanting to get that and I haven't done it yet.
It's so cute.
I was like, oh, I could read a book about two dudes. I can do that.
Yeah.
But I haven't done it yet. Well,
yeah, it's super cute.
Anytime you want to come on and do some book chat or have us on for book chat, I am available. Just let me know.
Yeah.
Give me some time.
Yeah. I'm usually doing nothing. So I'm reading.
Hey, you know, everybody needs a hobby. And that is your hobby.
I mean, I did just finish Love is Blind 3. So do you guys watch it?
So we live in Texas. So I'm excited to watch it. I haven't watched it yet. And we live in Dallas. Well, we live outside of Dallas. So.
Oh, that's cool.
I was like, ooh.
I wonder if you're probably going to recognize places that they have on.
Oh, for sure. That's what I'm excited about. We wanted to, me and my sister, I made her watch last season. But I had watched the first season and I was really addicted to it.
Of what again?
Of Love is Blind.
Oh.
And all the episodes came out all together the first season. But on the last one, they made you wait every week. And so when
it's like 2 a week.
Oh, is it? Okay.
But it's all out now. It's all finished.
Yes. Yeah. So we've been waiting for it to finish so we could actually watch them all. So I'm excited.
I'm excited for you.
Someone was telling me about it at work because they just couldn't keep their mouth shut. And they're like, there's a girl.
No.
Well, it's fine. They said it's not a spoiler, but they're like, there's this girl and she's a ballerina. And all she talks about is being a ballerina. And she's really mad because no one cares that she's a ballerina.
Yeah.
And I was telling him about the girl from last year that was like, yeah, everybody loves me and like I'm super awesome. And then no one really wanted to be with her. And then the one guy who did was an atheist and she didn't like it. So
Oh, her.
Yeah, she was awful. Awful.
I don't even remember her name.
No. Oh, it was Shannon. Shayna.
Shayna. Oh, yeah, Shayna. And then that Shane guy.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
with
that.
the crazy eyes. I only know because we just talked about it yesterday. It's the only reason why I know.
April, do you watch reality TV?
Dude, I don't watch no TV. I don't
really?
even watch movies. I don't watch anything but YouTube. Like right now, all I'm watching is card making. I'm watching videos on planners. I'm watching videos on junk journals. And then I watch videos of people reading like stories from Reddit. Like that's like my podcasting.
A 50-year-old stay-at-home mom.
I color too. I have so many pens, so many coloring books.
She paints her nails. That's a hobby.
Yeah. Like I will spend hours doing that.
She'll paint her nails.
I watch recipe videos.
And then she'll take it off and then she'll do it again.
I can't watch food videos.
Really?
No.
You can't watch what videos?
Food videos.
Really? Why?
Because then it's going to make me hungry and it's going to make me want that. And I can't cook either. So if I try to attempt it, like first of all, I don't have anything. Like I don't even have measuring cups until Sarah's sister took pity upon me and gave me some measuring cups. But to be honest, I think all I did was wash them and I've used it maybe once. One cup probably.
Yeah.
The 1 cup probably.
So we used to do a podcast called Give Me a Bake. It's where we tested April's knowledge of baking and it was so hilarious. Good. It was
like I really try.
It was the funnest time we have. I honestly am sad that we don't do it often enough because it was hilarious and it was a great time.
Yeah, you guys are doing them as bonus episodes now, right?
Yeah.
We have released one. And I don't honestly know if it went well because I didn't hear any feedback. So I haven't done a second one yet.
You could do one for
I'll have to
Thanksgiving.
listen to it.
I should re-release for like the third time our Thanksgiving episode.
What the hell?
When I make a fool of myself. Because it's great. But, well, this has been a lovely time, Ashlee. I'm so happy you got to come on.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you for being malleable with all of our date changes and time changes.
Yeah, I'm pretty boring. I really don't do much. I hang out with my cats.
That's okay. I don't do much either. That's why I craft.
I'm a very busy person at home. I have so many things to do at home except clean or cook.
Yeah.
So
she'd rather throw away a dish than
that's why we buy paper plates, so I don't have to dirty them.
We had what was it? It was something saucy the other day, and I brought out 3 plates, me, her, and my sister, and she went and got a paper plate and put it on the paper plate, and I was like, why did you get the paper plate? She's like, I didn't know there was plates. I was like, yes, we have normal plates. I got you a plate. And then later, me and my sister were talking about it. I go, I think it's because she's so used to eating with paper plates because she hates washing dishes.
I do.
And I was like, but we have a dishwasher.
I mean, so do I. It's full of clean dishes. That's where I store them. Because my cabinets are full of just bowls and lids that don't even go together. So I use foil paper to cover my bowls because I don't have time to look through all of the different bowl lids to find the right size. I'm sure I have some.
That's why we have the kind that go under it. So it stays together.
That would not stay organized in my house, okay? It just gets shoved in the cabinet, and you have to be careful when you open the cabinets because stuff may come flying out. So the dishes are in the dishwasher, okay? That's where they're kept.
The cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Oh, goodness. Well, thanks again for being on.
Yeah, of course.
And
it was lovely speaking with you.
Yes, we'll have to have you back sometime.
It was nice to meet you, April.
You as well, Ashlee.
And we will blast your episode, at least on Instagram, when it comes out.
I will also be blasting.
Woohoo! All right, guys.
Awesome.
Well, until next time.
Toodles.
Bye.
Toodles.
This episode was produced by Two Chicks Talkin Flicks. Music was produced by Michael Giovanni. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to be a part of the show, have a movie suggestion, or just want to give us some love, you can email us at twochickstalkinflicks@gmail.com. Thanks, guys. Toodles.